Set your travel sign straight for scrapbooking with this simple perspective trick. When out and about, I love to take photos of meaningful signs and memorabilia I encounter along the way. I think they add a great addition to my scrapbook pages in the way of color, interest, and information. For this tutorial, you will need a photo that needs a perspective fix. You can download the photo I'm using by clicking on the link in the manual that's included with this video. Other good choices for photos would be road signs, marquees, event tickets, or any other item photographed for the purpose of including it on a scrapbook page. Also, it's best if the entire subject of the photo is within the boundaries of the photo and is well lit and is in good focus. I'm beginning here in expert mode of Photoshop Elements with a copy of my original photo. Also, I have the rulers turned on and I've dragged out 4 canvas guides that loosely represent the shape that I want my sign to be after I've transformed it. You'll find step-by-step instructions for doing each of those things in the manual that's included with this video. Also, the instructions for Adobe Photoshop are exactly the same for this video, except where noted. The next step will be to warp the image so that the sign fits within the canvas guides. To give yourself a little bit of working room, you'll first want to zoom out by pressing Ctrl-, that's Command- on a Mac. Then press Ctrl-T, Command-T on a Mac to get the transform options. I'll start with the bottom right corner. Hold down the Control key in Windows or the Command key on a Mac and click on the bottom right corner of the bounding box and drag until your sign is just larger than the boundaries of the canvas guides. Still holding down the Control or Command key, click and drag on the bottom left corner handle. Then continuing to go around, still holding down the Control or Command key, click and drag on the top left corner handle. Again, I want to make the sign just a little bit larger than the boundaries of the guidelines. And then still holding down the Control or Command key, click on the top right corner handle and drag that into position. As you go about doing this, it is possible that you will have to go back and adjust some of the other bounding box handles. But once your sign fits well within the parameters defined by the canvas guides, you can let go of the Control or Command key and then click the check mark to commit. We no longer need these guides, so in the menu bar, choose View, Clear Guides. This sign is now ready for selecting and then cropping or pasting onto another document. To select the sign, get the rectangular marquee tool, and in the tool options, click on the new selection icon, set the feather to 0 and the aspect to normal. In Photoshop, you would set the style to normal. Then on the document, click and drag a selection outline around the part of the document that you want to keep. You could select just the part of the sign that you want to keep, or you could include some of the background with the sign. If doing that, you'll want to make sure that the boundaries of the selection stay inside the original boundaries of the photo. To reposition while dragging, press and hold the spacebar. At this point, you could crop the photo and save it with a unique name, or you could copy this selection and paste it into a document. You'll find specific instructions on how to do each of those things in the manual that's included with this video. Here's what my scrapbook page looks like after adding the historical sign to the page. It's now much easier to read and it looks great to boot. So that's how to reset the perspective of a rectangular sign photo for scrapbooking. To learn more about Photoshop or Photoshop Elements, or to fill in the gaps of your learning, I suggest checking out Quick Learn Photoshop or Photoshop Elements by Linda Satgast. You'll find a discount coupon link in the manual. This has been Jen White with Digital Scrapper.